This makes me look very weak, melted in the head. Honestly, one of the toughest players I've ever played with. Just watch that technique. Yeah, you normally save that till you won the game, but he didn't. Wow, that's a young, quick Joe Marler. I'm sure if he had his time again, he would pass this ball. It's one of the greatest sounds I've ever heard in my life. Hello and welcome to Rugby Reacts with DC. Now, this is one of my favourite ever matches we're going to dive into now. It is the Aviva, as it was called then, Aviva Premiership Final 2012, Harlequins versus Leicester Tigers. Let's go. So, Harlequins, we'd been first all year this year. So we were top of the table pretty much all year. First place fourth. We nearly lost that game. Took a last minute try from a certain legend is Joe Marler to get us into this final to play against Leicester. A team that had won so many trophies over the past few years. They'd been there and done that loads of times. This is Harlequins' first ever Premiership final, so it was a massive day for the club. Massive day for me as an individual, but massive day for the team. We were confident that we could beat Leicester. We played them, for a bit of context, we played them about 4 weeks ago. We lost in the regular season, but we only lost by about 5 or 6 points, I think. But we came off the pitch that day, and I remember, actually might have been 10 points. Came off the pitch that day, and I remember our DOR at the time, Conor O'Shea, was laughing, smiling. We know, what are you laughing at? Like, what are you smiling about? And he was like, I know how we're going to beat them, and we're going to beat them in the final. I can just tell. So we were like, okay. So we hatched this little plan. I'll never forget the day I woke up that day. Glorious sunshine. Opened the curtains, glorious sunshine, and it just felt like it was our day. Felt like that is the perfect Harlequins weather. That is exactly what we needed, and we get to do the coolest thing in the world by walking from our home to our big home, from the Stoop to Twickenham Stadium in front of 10 or 15,000 fans lined the streets for us to go and play that game. Everything just felt special, felt right, felt like it was our day. And yeah, here's a nice welcome from my good friend Manu Tuolangi. Just dumped tackle early doors, which he didn't mean to hurt me. I think he maybe gets a little bit of a telling off from the referee here, from Wayne Barnes, but thank God I had an arm out to guide my fall. This makes me look very weak, but I am running into one of the most destructive, powerful players the game of rugby's ever seen. I think we get a little penalty here. Nick Evans nudges us ahead early doors. Great to get off to a good start. Just get 3 points on the board. We was massively respected Leicester. We knew that we just need to keep the scoreboard ticking over. But one thing Conor always used to say was, let's start fast, play at a tempo that they can't live with. We thought that if we got our game going against them, we could cause them some real problems, and we managed to get off to a good start, which is great. Here's me looking around thinking, what should I do here? Don't want to box kick the ball. Slowing the ball down. Look how slow that is back in the day. Nick Evans bangs the ball up in the air. Tried to play some territory. Kicking it to one of the best players I've probably ever played against, Jordan Murphy. Unbelievable player. There's big James Johnston getting whacked, which didn't happen much to JJ back in the day. But yeah, it was a tough physical game, which it always obviously is going to be in the final. So yeah, special day for us. Here's us taking a little blind side, trying to use my feet a little bit. George Lowe, Nick Evans to George Lowe down the wing. I even cleared out a ruck there. We get a penalty, which is great. Now here's our opportunity. We wanted to, when we get in their 22, come away with points was our big thing we always used to say. And Tommy Williams scores the first ever try Harlequins have scored in a Premiership final, which I was delighted for Tommy, because he'd obviously gone through a bit of a tough time over the years at Harlequins with things that had happened. But yeah, for him to go over for our first try in a final, he was an unbelievable rugby player. And Monnier one wing, Tommy Williams on the other. George Robson busting a tackle here. Quick ball, play on top, played the ball to space, Brownie to Tommy Williams. Tommy Williams dives in for the try. But against Leicester, you've got to be careful, because they can sting you. They've got some brilliant players. They had so many England players playing for them. And then they had some overseas foreign lads that were unbelievable. Here's us again attacking. Oh, Tuolangi comes in, nearly clothesline someone. But yeah, I remember it always feeling tight. We never felt. There's a little inside ball to Brown. You get melted in the head. That's a red card these days. And here's one, yeah, obviously one thing here that I used to love doing was at any point, at any time in the game, Connor would always say, Danny, you got the license to quick tap, and this is something I like to try and make my own from anywhere. Just quick tap, get some tempo, get our boys going, get us on the front foot. That's when we feel like we're the best team that teams couldn't live with. So at any point I was given the license to be able to do that, and you can just, Mo Farsavalu was honestly one of the toughest players I've ever played with. Generally teams were scared of him. Jordan Turner Hall making a break down the wing. I don't think we say that many times. It's normally bashing it up the centre. But yeah, bit of tempo into the game, get him on the back foot. There's a young George Ford. George Ford, so Toby Flood was meant to be playing that day. George Ford, I think, I might have to fact check this. I think he was only about 18 at this point. And he's in the 10 shirt playing in a Premiership final. It's incredible, shows just how amazing a player he is and already was back then. Go 11-3 up here with 17 minutes left in the first half. See how hot it is for the crowd. Brownie, wow. One of the very best I've ever played with at catching high balls, even when you've got Alessandro Tuolangi chasing you down to absolutely melt you. And he always beats the first tackler. Just rides that tackle, gets up, throws the offload. All the kids out there, just watch that technique of Mike Brown. Arms in the air, he always used to say, arms in the air, don't have any space in here where the ball can go through. Go and meet the ball, go and attack the ball. And he used to do that. He still does it now. He's about 46. Here's what can happen in rugby. We felt like we've had all the momentum. We're the attacking team. We're in their half, 10 minutes to go. We're 11-6 up. This is what happens against the best teams and why rugby can just change in an instant. We slightly overthrow a line out. Dan Cole makes a half break, gives it to Maffey. And I back myself 10 more metres. I'm chasing him down there, but he was too quick for me, annoyingly. Then I think he throws a Dougie celebration in there, which, yeah, he's kissing the sky and everything, which, yeah, normally save that till you won the game, but he didn't. And yeah, so we're almost like chasing the game. We're 2 points behind, and Leicester are kind of coming into their own. Manu's running around. Anthony Allen, Manu Tuolangi combination that year was awesome. Obviously Youngsy at scrum half. And yeah, at this point we're just thinking, let's just stay in the game, and we get a massive turnover here just before half time, which is huge. Tommy Williams, this is Harlequins, I think, in a bit of a nutshell, just trying to create things from anywhere. Little intricate plays. Nick Easter was such a big player for us that year. Joe Marler, wow, that's a young, quick Joe Marler. I haven't seen him make a break like that ever, I think, since then. Cole, you got to roll away there, mate. So this time, right, any young nines out there? Obviously, my thing was quick taps, tempo, but sometimes you have to think about state of the game, how tired your boys are, where you are on the field, time on the clock. At this point, I would normally have gone for a quick tap. If this was 6 minutes earlier, I probably would have gone for a quick tap here, but I felt like this was the time to just slow it down a little bit, get us some field position, because you want to just get back in their half. So I didn't go for a quick tap there, which I'm sure it's the type of thing Connor would have been annoyed at me for not doing. But we're going to the second half, 17-13 up. Again, we're playing from everywhere. Oogs down the touchline. Just trying to still play our Quins way, which we felt like nobody else was kind of playing this way yet. We kind of feel, not that we were the first team ever to do it, but I feel like in the league that year, we're the team that played the most attacking rugby, and we wanted to be the team that won the league by playing the best rugby. Like if you look at some of the stuff we do, Nick Evans throwing stuff around, left-footed grubber kicks, it's just just didn't pop up, annoyingly. But the best thing I could say about this team was we were giving a complete freedom and a license from the coaches to play what we saw and back ourselves. If anything, they'd be annoyed at us for not backing ourselves and playing within ourselves. So we could have had 2 or 3 more tries this day, but Leicester scrambled defence is really good. I really liked that break that I made. I remember that one, throwing a little out the back to Nick Easter. Try and then, you say, right, we get an advantage, which is brilliant. Try and stay on top of them here. George Lowe nearly goes in the corner, and then Captain Fantastic, cometh the hour, cometh the man. Chris Robshaw hits a line here. Awesome try for Robbo, and that meant so much to us and the team. Just gave us that buffer with 30 points to 13 up here. 13 minutes to go. Robbo scoring that try just, pushed us 3 scores ahead, which was massive. We always said, like, we're never out of it. Like, don't stop playing, because they won't stop playing. And when they had Ben Youngs, a real young Ben Youngs then, who was also quick tapping and playing from anywhere, and he kind of rolled his sleeves up and took it upon himself to try and drag Leicester Tigers back into this game, and that he did. Took a quick tap, got ahead of us, throws a little offload here to Anthony Allen, who goes under the sticks, and suddenly you're thinking, surely not, boys. They've scored 1, let's not let them score again. But they had always had that danger, these world-class players that you were always wary of. So now the clock's in the red. We're 7 points up, 30 points to 23. Leicester Tigers need to score a converted try to take this to extra time. We're on our line. They've got a 5 metre. I'm sure, and I know Billy Twelvetrees very well. I played with him for a few years for England. I'm sure if he had his time again, he would pass this ball, because I think what he thinks is, I'm defending him, the littlest lad on the pitch. I'm going to run over the top of Danny, and we're going to score a try here. These are one of those moments where I generally love defending these type of games, where you have to put your body on the line the last minute for your team to try and win. So I thought Billy was going to run at me, so I was ready for the tackle, and luckily this one I made, which was nice. Gave a chance for Chris Robshaw to get on the ball, and Wayne Barnes blowing this whistle is one of the greatest sounds I've ever heard in my life, because we knew that we'd won the league. We'd done the unthinkable. No one thought we could do it at the start of the year. No one backed this team apart from us internally. We'd won the Amlin Cup the year before, which gave us that belief that we were good enough to be the best team in England. We felt like we were the best team in England all year, but you've then got to go and earn it on that one day at Twickenham in front of 80,000, and we did it. We've still got to kick the ball out here, so everyone's celebrating. No one's kicked the ball out. Look at what it means to all the boys. You can't describe this feeling. These are lads that I've generally spent more time with these boys than my family that year and the previous years. The lads that I'm growing up with, I'm making mistakes with, but I'm having the best time on and off the pitch with them. And you do something that you can only really dream of. We managed to do it. We win the league and created an unbelievable memory that lasts forever. So here we are, a load of young boys with a few old boys, experienced heads, Mo Farsavalu, Nick Easter. Champagne gets sprayed. This is the moment you dream of. This is why you put all the hard work in for moments like this, to lift a trophy with your best mates. Not many people get to have that feeling, but I felt like we deserved it that year, and Robbo, unbelievable captain, gets to lift the trophy, and a load of boys, best mates, get to enjoy it. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget going back over to the stoop, and 5,000 or 6,000 fans came and were on the pitch, and we had Nick Easter had the microphone singing songs and stuff, and then I'll never forget the night out as well after. So 2012 Harlequins, Premiership winners.